guys, here we are. This is our 5th spot of the day, first cast, and I've just managed to get myself hooked into something. Hello guys, very warm welcome back. As you can see, you're joining us again back out on the boat today. Hopefully an exciting episode in store. We are today chasing after a few Gilthead bream from the boat. Won't be an easy task. They are, as we know, pretty elusive, but the area where I'm fishing, even more so, they can be very elusive. However, there are quite a few, when you do catch one, there are quite a few notable catches of sizable fish, good sized fish to be had. So fingers crossed, let's hope we can get into a bit of action today for you. The weather's blowing an absolute hoolie, so you know we're in midsummer time now, and as per, it's a pretty similar story to the whole year at the moment. We're getting sort of 15 to 20 mile an hour westerly winds today, so there's no chance of getting offshore, even getting outside the breakwater. But the one good thing about being around Plymouth, and this is something that we'll definitely be exploring a lot more as the autumn time comes in and into the winter period. For those that are local to Plymouth know this, but you can, you don't need to go out offshore. You can head up the River Tamar, and there's a whole brimming estuary worth of fishing to be done. As I've mentioned, Gilthead bream are one of the species you can catch within the Tamar estuary. You can also target thornback rays. You can certainly pick up conger eel in the winter time. It's a very good place to fish for cod. There are lots of notable big bass captures that happen on a regular basis within the system, so it's quite a thriving place to fish. As I say, today my target is most definitely the Gilthead bream, and I'll just quickly run you through the tactics that I'm using. And if you've seen a few of my other bream videos, you'll know that it's pretty on par with what I do even on my beach fishing. But I fish just a standard running ledger rig. You can see zip slider, bead. I'm fishing braid hook length, about 2.5 feet worth of braid hook length, maybe a little bit more. I've got a size 2.0 Sakuma Manta extra hook, and I've got a couple of bright beads. The rods and reels I'm using are my trusty, faithful, uptiding rods, and my bait runner saltwater bait runners, Shimano saltwater bait runners, 15-pound main line, all ready to go. Baits I'm using today is going to be primarily ragworm. Crab works very well for them, as we all know, but the Tamar itself is pretty much a rag river. There are lots of rag beds within the river, so they do definitely succumb to rag regularly in the Tamar, so that's what I'm plumping for today. I've got some beautiful juicy fresh dug rag from Southwest Sea Baits, and that's what we're going to give it a go and to target them on. Like I say, fingers crossed we can get into some action. If we do, it will be brilliant for all, but they can be elusive, and they can be, more so in this river system, so we'll just have to play it by ear and see how we get on. That's about it really. Sit back, enjoy. Hopefully we all enjoy it and we all see a few fish. Right, let's get a couple of nice worms on. There we go. There's one. Beautiful freshly dug rag here, again from Southwest Sea Bait. Look at that, that is a lovely little bait there. Look, how could any self-respecting bream turn that down? Haha, let's go. Now, first cast, we are going to pop this one, I think, just out to the left here. Just give that a little chuck out to the left there. Drop that down. Right guys, here we are. I've just now moved to the second spot of the morning. The first spot I was in a little further up river. I was just getting hit so hard by the wind, and there's a bite straight away, there we go. I was just getting hit so hard by the wind, it was swinging me about with little tide movement, and I've just had my first drop, and just as you've seen there, I had a bite on my outside rod. The tide's gushing, the wind is howling. I'm sure you'll be able to pick that up on the microphone. And we've got something on. Excellent. There we go, we're in. So, little move, first cast on in a new spot, and we're on to something which is a Couches Bream. Absolutely beautiful, a nice little Couches. Well, that's a good start. I'm pleased about that. Now these are real prickly little fellas. There we go guys, a beautiful Couches Bream. They are the most beautiful looking fish, I think. Absolutely beautiful, glorious fish. Let's drop him back. Now, before I left, I picked off a load of mussels from the underside of the pontoon where my mooring's at, and I will, through the day, bust up a few of these and use them as bait. I'm going to cut a few open and cast them out because I know the gilts love these mussels, so we'll give that a spin also. But at the moment I'm going to stick with the worm, just hopefully to develop a few bites and get a little bit of action. But yeah, I definitely am going to have a go with the mussels later on today. Okay, let's pop this one out. It's going across the tide that way. See the Navy guys there doing some drills. Here we go, there's a bite on my right hand rod that I just cast out further over to the right, with all of that commotion going on. Another little tap there. There's a knock. And we've got something on here. What do we have? Nothing too much in the way of kicking. We have got a tiny little bass. There we go. Well, it's easier to handle a bigger bass than it is a tiny one. There you go. I think I'll go a little longer with this one this time. Let's see how we do there, sort of down the side of that boat there on the left. And that one is straight into a bite. It's only just hit the bottom there. still tapping away, just wanting it to hoop over. There's definitely something interested in it. There we go, we're in. And what we're into is a tiny little bass. I'd call it a basslet. Another bite on this rod. That felt like a better knock. There we go, we're in. This one feels a little bit breamy, if I'm honest. It is a bream. It's a lovely Couches yet again. It's another nice Couches. Very, very good. Excellent. There we go, guys. Another nice Couches. Beautiful fish. Really nice. Well, let's just drop this one back. Off he flies. Most beautiful looking fish. Whoosh. And away. Well, there we go, guys. That's my mussel bait that I'm going to put out. Half a shell, packed with a couple of mussels and whipped on. You may well say to yourself, Christ, you need some kahunas to cast out half a mussel shell. But I've got them kahunas. I'm not afraid to put that out. If any gilts are around, they just crunch these mussels like Smarties. I've seen films of them just literally destroying whole mussels in their mouth. So they definitely come around feeding on the underside of the moorings where the mussels are attached. They definitely pluck them off and eat them. I just wish that this wind wasn't around, but that's just not going to be part of the equation today. It's not going to stop all day. In fact, it's getting slightly stronger through the day. But there you go. Well, guys, here we are on the third spot of the day. As you can see with the bridge in the background there, that's the Tamar bridge. I've moved around facing up the river just to get a little bit of shelter on this bank side from these heavy winds, because the wind now is constant 14 to 16 miles an hour coming from the west, and the mark where we were, where we've just had the Couches Bream from, the tide now is going to be going directly up towards the west, which means that I'm just going to be absolutely swinging everywhere. And I mean, I'm even swinging a fair bit here, I'm sure, as you can see. However, in this spot here, the tide really hasn't started going yet. Once it does start to run, we should stop all this swinging about and be facing up towards the bridge, and hopefully we will be sheltered by the wind and get a bit of fishing time in. At the moment, you can just see we are just going everywhere. We need a little bit of tide run to straighten us up, and then we should be cooking. How lucky are we here in Plymouth to have this whole River Tamar system, where you can literally have 20-mile-an-hour winds and just come and fish absolutely comfortably, albeit getting blown a little bit around the anchor in terms of presenting bait, but it's fantastic. You know, there's plenty of fish to be caught in this system. On the right day, you can get yourself into the fish of a lifetime, really. So yeah, dead lucky. I'm getting the same sort of bites on both rods. This one may have a little fish on here, it does, and we'll see what the culprits are. Exactly what I thought, little small bass. We really don't want to get played by these. Yeah, I think I've probably got another one on here as well. I have. Now, if you have a little look at the right hand rod, you'll see in a minute, this is what I'm having to contend with. I've just put this out there. And there you go, that's Mr. Bass. They are going to be an absolute nuisance today, I can see. I just had a slightly better pullover on the worm bait. Pretty sure what I've got is a bass. Then it is ever so slightly better, but still the plague of the bass. And hear that wind. There we go. So, spot number 4. We're in. It feels like it's grating around the moor in there. And what do we have? Oh, we've got a wrasse. That's just what we don't want to be catching. There you go. Pop that hook out. Ooh. I'll give myself a 0.1 for the let go technique there. There we go. Well guys, here we are. This is our 5th spot of the day, first cast, and I've just managed to get myself hooked into something. You can see in the background there, we've got an island behind us, and it is a beautiful Couches. That's a nice one, really good fish. Wow, that's a brilliant fish, I'm very pleased with that. Well, there we go guys, the bar of soap that is the Couches Bream. First cast, I've just stopped off on my last stop of the day. I've got about an hour's fishing time left and I've got to get going, I've got stuff to do. And I've just taken my 3rd Couches of the day, but a really nice one, well over a pound, probably 1.5 pounds that one. And happy days. There we go, you can hear it in the background, he's absolutely blowing a hoolie, but I'm here to catch some fish, so here we go. Here we go again, we're in again. Rod just hooped over. We're into another bream by the feels of things. This is really, really good. Yep, it's another Couches. Lovely. Perfect. Such beautiful fish they are. And they are really prickly little customers, more so than pretty much any other fish that you handle. They are absolutely spiny. Oh, he's going back. There you go. Right, that's 2 in 2 casts, guys. Let's hope that we can find the elusive Gilthead or a much better Couches, because that would be really nice if we can. As I say, this is where we are, spot number 4, and yeah, we're getting amongst it here. Happy days. So guys, here we find ourselves middle of an absolute hoolie. Can you hear that? The winds are blowing up at 14 to 20 miles an hour, and you can see we've got a bit of white water because we've got tide going this way, wind coming that way. But having said all that, we're fishing effectively. We've had a couple of fish and looking for more, so let's hopefully get into a few. And there we go guys, that's what's going out, shell and all, muscle power. Let's hope we get a nice pull round on it. That one's gonna be just sleeping until, or unless it goes. Pop that out there. There's another bite guys, and we're in. I think I've missed this one. Damn, that's messing about doing other stuff. Oh, there we go, we're in. Another nice Couches. Well, we're picking them up now guys, smashing it. Beautiful fish, I keep saying it, but they really are, apart from the spines on the blooming things. But we'll go with the towel and save my fingers. There we go, back she goes. Lovely. Well guys, thank you very much for joining me on such a windswept, crazy old day. That'll have to do us for the day. Not had a bad day. Managed to catch a few Couches, which is always nice. They're lovely fish to catch. Didn't manage to find the Gilthead that I was after, but there's always next time. And obviously we had a few small bass as well, and the one wrasse as well. So in all, when you're looking at the weather forecast and what I've had to deal with today, we've had a really good day out of really when on any other place you just wouldn't be able to get out. So happy days. Until next time, we'll meet again, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed. See you later guys, thank you.